I'd like to introduce you to my story, Opossum on My Shoulder, with a little bit of background. So listen to that first.
Hello, my name is Lois Stern, and when I was asked to tell about a teacher that had a great impact on me, immediately the name Margaret Norton came to mind. I went to a three-room schoolhouse for all my elementary grades, from kindergarten through seventh grade, and I was fortunate enough to have Margaret Norton for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grades, and she had a tremendous impact on me. Aside from being fair and a wonderful teacher, she innovated certain rituals in her classroom, and one of them was every Wednesday afternoon, each of us were to get up and stand before the class and perform in some way. We could tell a story, we could sing a song, but the idea was to do something in front of an audience. Well, some of my classmates loved it, and you'd see their hands raising wildly, and they couldn't wait to be called on. I was definitely not one of those. I would kind of slink down in my seat and hope that I wouldn't be seen, and if in fact I was called on, I made a very short work of it. One day in particular, I remember hiding in the girls' bathroom. I was so frightened. But when I got out, sure enough, she called on me. She didn't let a trick go by. And I did get up, and I don't remember what I said, but I know it was very fast. Well, one night on a Tuesday evening, something unusual happened in my home. An opossum ended up in our garage, and it was quite an experience for all of us. Well, Wednesday came, and this time I had something to share, and I told the class very briefly about this opossum adventure. Well, my classmates were intrigued, and they wanted to know all kinds of things about opossums. Of course, I didn't know too much, but Mrs. Norton was so smart, she said, "Lois, why don't you go home and have your parents help you research some information about opossums, and tomorrow you can come and share the information with your classmates." So I did that, and I came in the next day, and actually I became teacher for a whole half an hour or more, sharing details that I had learned about opossums. That was a turning point for me. I suddenly realized that, yes, I could have things to say, and I could hold an audience spellbound if I wanted to. Well, that certainly was a turning point, because since that day, I have done so many public appearances, and if I get a little bit nervous, all I think about is that opossum on my shoulder, and I'm fine. So I thank Mrs. Norton for helping me through a rough time in my life. Actually, I wrote that story as one of the stories in one of my Tales to Inspire collections, and I named it Opossum on My Shoulder. Thank you, Margaret Norton. You had quite an impact on my life.
I never truly carried an opossum on my shoulder. This was a figure of speech, but I wanted you to see what one looks like. And here is the book cover, Tales to Inspire, the Topaz collection, where that story, Opossum on My Shoulder, is published.